Good afternoon, everybody. It is 2 o'clock on Wednesday. Oh, excuse me. How are we all? So as per usual, going to wait for a few people just to jump on, wait till Sammy gets here so she can answer any questions you may have. And then we will get started. So, I had a really good idea for today because, as I'm sure those of you that are suffering from it are aware, it's quite blooming hot. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some quick inky cards. My plan is to do 3. If I pass out or melt before that, at least we'll have some completed projects to go with. Okay? I think it's a winning idea myself, but you know, what can you do? What can you do? So let me just find us on here. And then we can get started. Hello, Linda. Hello, Maxine. How are you? Right. I really need to change my sheet, don't I? It's getting very inky now. So, yeah. So, my thought was, this is going to be use the inks that are already around on my desk. Use the stamps and cutouts I've already got around on my desk. Sort of like a really just reach for what's there sort of a thing. Because, A, it will, you know, anything that can potentially stop me overheating is fabulous. And B, sometimes I think it's a really good exercise. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a few stamps, some of the inks that are already on my desk, and that's what we're going to work with. Okay? Luckily, I've got quite a few of my oxides out at the minute, so we do have a selection. I've got the ones I was using last night on my Try It Out Tuesday on Be Crafty. So I've got a mustard seed, a picked raspberry, and a spiced marmalade. But over by here, as they say, I have got some Uncharted Mariner and Rustic Wilderness and that sort of thing. So we should be able to have a bit of a play. So if you have been with me before when I'm making cards, I usually do quite a lot of art journaling on my lives because I think the techniques are so easily transferable to cards and other projects that you want to make. But July is quite a busy month in the Tonky Towers in terms of birthdays and family birthdays and whatever, which means my card basket is looking somewhat depleted, so I do need to make some cards. So I thought this would be a really, really good opportunity. So I found, when I was sorting my craft room out earlier in the year, several packets of the Scalloped Edge 6x6 cards. So that is what my cards are primarily being made from at the minute. But I next to never, I try not to say never because that's how you trip up. But I next to never stamp directly on the card or anything like that. So what I do is I cut these 5 1/4 inch panels, and then basically complete them and then stick them on the front of the card. Okay? I mean, it's only ever a piece of card, so there's nothing to worry about. But I find if I'm using the panels, if it goes terribly wrong, just biff it over your shoulder. It's a problem for another day, and you can make another one, but you don't feel like you've wasted your card, you know. So yes, it is very hot here too, Angela. Like very, very toasty. Luckily, my crafty cupboard is in the middle of the house, so that's why if it does start to get a bit melty in here, I know it's time to get out. It really is. Now, I will say my comments don't seem to be keeping up that well. But if you do have any questions, Sam is there and I will come back and have a look through. Okay, so like I say, if you've just joined us, I see a few more people have joined. What I'm going for today is for 3 quick inky cards. Okay, this is for the reason this is a good thing is things you can put together in a hurry if your card basket is getting low, or you've got a few birthdays coming up or things like that, or if you just feel like, you know, you want to be a bit productive, you want to create something quickly and in a hurry, or if you've only got a couple of inks, maybe a couple of templates and stamps, and you still want to be able to make something lovely, you can do that with what we're going to do here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to do some smushing. Okay, so I've got my small Be Crafty blending mat here. We do these in just under A3 and just under A4 size. And basically I'd use these for all my inky techniques, whether I'm blending or smushing or anything like that. Okay, so but what we're going to do is we're going to go straight in with some smushing straight away. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of mustard seed on there. Now you can do this separately and do all your colours individually, which I think I have done on here fairly recently. It was either here or on the Be Crafty page, I can't remember now. But this time I'm going to do all 3 colours together. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to get my distress sprayer, but you can use your mini mister or anything like that, and we're going to spritz on. I'm going to actually get this quite wet. Okay, and then I'm using the Dolly Dimples media card, right? Stock cards, that's the word, Sam. Sorry, I just went out and back in again because I'm having to do that because the comments aren't updating. And we're just going to squish down and smush our card into that. And look at that, absolutely beautiful. And then I'm just going to rotate slightly. And do again. And then, yeah, do you know what? We will just fill the piece of card up. We'll put that on there. Move that to the side. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now I do have my heaty up block here. So this is a brown non-stick craft sheet that I stick to a block of wood, and I use this for heating and all this sort of thing. I don't use it for blending because, especially if you're using paler colours, you can't always see how they're mixing on the mat. So that's why I use my blending mat for blending, and my non-stick craft sheet for either adhering prep bits too, or for just heat drying things. Okay, and then you don't have to worry about your fingertips or anything like that. Do not heat on your Bee Crafted blending mat. That's all I will say. Right, so let me bring that back in. I'm just going to... There isn't too much excess ink there, so I don't feel too bad about wiping it up with my painty towel. Alright, so we're going to bring that in there. Now I do feel we've lost a little bit of the pink, so I'm going to grab my picked raspberry and a blending brush. Okay, these are just the blending brushes from Amazon. Okay, they're absolutely great. I've had them a while now and I like them because I can colour coordinate. Right, so all I'm going to do is get some on my brush, and then we're just going to bring some of that pink back in around the edges. Don't need to go in too far. I just want to and then over this corner here. And then that sort of highlighted the pink. Okay, now from there what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of our Inkables big ones. I'm going to go for, or we're going to go for the Andalusian, but it's got a bit of blue on it, so let's sort that out first. I have plenty of skills, I promise you. Cleaning my templates is, no. I'm not very good at cleaning my templates, I can't lie. So, but this is going to be a bit of a twofer. Okay, because we're going to get our next piece of card for our next card. And we're going to put our Andalusian. This is an Inkables big one. It's called Andalusian. Okay. And we're going to use that picked raspberry. And we're going to blend that. You could stick this down with a non-permanent adhesive if you wanted to. I'm not patient enough for that, unfortunately. We're just going to add this on. So this is going to be the start of our next card as well. Like I say, quick inky cards, quick inky cards. Okay, but I just want to make sure we've got lots of ink on top of there. So that's going to be our next card. Okay, but I'm also just going to add, make sure there is some more of the picked raspberry on there. Right, move that to the side. And then we're going to spritz this with our sprayer. And then we're going to go on to our card. And then going back with our painty towel, we're just going to put our painty towel on the top and just press that down. I'm going to lift that up and have a bit of that pattern there. Okay, so I'm just going to get my heat tool. I'm not worried about getting my heat sheet out for this bit because it is just a quick light one. Now, okay, so when I lift that up, I'm going to lift that one up to show you. Okay, you've then got the pattern of the Andalusian big one on your card here. Yeah? Awesome. Okay. Okay, from here, there's the next stage. We're going to get, I was doing something very similar last night and I absolutely loved it. But I'm going to use a slightly different shape. I'm going to use one of the Easy Frame big ones. Last night I was using the circle, but I think I'm going to go with the Inkables Easy Frame sunflower shape. Now your Easy Frames, they come with an innie and an outie, okay, depending on whether you want to do like a solid sunflower shape or if you want to have that be the shadow shape. Okay, so it's really, really up to you. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that right about there. And I'm going to get, again, my picked raspberry. And I'm going to blend out. I'm only going to ink my brush once. I'm just going to blend out all the way around. And then when you lift that off, you've got this lovely sort of sunflower shape. What's lovely about this one is it does have these little details in, these sort of accent bits on some of the petals, which is really pretty. Okay. And then I'm going to go for, remember I was saying I was going to use a load of things up that were on here. So this is the Doodle Art Dandy Daisy. This is our newest release of Doodle Art Stamps. Now that is lovely, but I actually think there's too much colour on it. I think we need to bring a bit of white in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is either go for a completely white one, or we could colour it in slightly, or go for the big blooming bloom. I think that's too big. I do think that's too big. Or we could, of course, just put a little one in there. But I'm thinking that one will be rather pretty on there. Okay, so what we'll do, but I think it needs a little bit of colour. So luckily, we've got some of our picked raspberry still on our blending mat. So I'm going to give that a bit of a spritz. Okay, so that we can paint with it. And I was just looking for a smaller paintbrush. This one will do. Okay, but what I'm also going to do is I'm going to spritz. Now these are stamped on white linen. Okay, so I'm just going to, oh, I think we need probably a bit more picked raspberry than that. So, I'm so sorry guys, the comments still aren't coming up. I will keep refreshing, I promise me. The black and white looks good. I'm committed now, sorry my love. So I'm just going to go around the inside of here with my picked raspberry. I'll spritz with water so it will travel outwards a little. Okay. Just going to go around the inside of there. And then maybe just some splatty splats. And in fairness, what I might do is do a few more splatty splatters onto here because I just think it's a lovely quick effect. So we're just going to flick that on here. Alright. And again, just give that a quick waft with the heat tool. Nothing major. Beautiful. Okay, so you can see that's now just got that hint of pink on there, which looks absolutely stunning. Okay, a bit warm. Okay, I'll tell you what we do need though. I think we need a little bit of white on here too. So I'm going to use my Dina Wakley Gloss Spray White. This is one that I primarily use for exactly this job. Hence why there's quite a lot of acrylic around the spray head, which is very bad. I need to sort that out. But it's okay because it's working right now. We just need to... Now, with this being an acrylic gloss spray, you shouldn't really heat it too much because obviously it's a plastic, it's an acrylic, so you shouldn't heat it. But I'm not going to lie, I do give it a quick waff with my heat tool because it just quickens everything up. If I'm doing a full surface, I tend not to because it's just a bit too much. But if it is just, for example, something like this, just to add some paint spatter effect on, I will. Okay. Now that's mostly starting to dry, so I will let it continue drying itself the rest of the way itself. Sorry. Then I'm just going to take my Posca and we're just going to do a little faux stitch around the edge of this card. Like I say, these are just some quick cards, but I don't think that means, you know, that you don't have time to do these little details on, you know. For me, there's always time for a faux stitch with your Posca pen. I won't lie. So we're going to add that on like that. And get some double-sided foam. And that's going to go on here and a little on the back of one of the leaves. That should be enough to hold it, no problem. We're going to put that sort of just inside, or just, yeah, just about there. And then, because these are stock cards, I stay away from sentiments because I don't know who it's for or what it's for just yet. So what I'll do is I'm going to use some of the new Incredible Words. Where's my card for my Incredible Words? Here we go. And that's these here. Okay. So you've got lots of words here, but you can also make lots of little phrases with them too. Ow, I just stabbed myself with a pair of scissors. You can make lots of phrases with them too, like be spontaneous, be brilliant, you are amazing. You know, lots of little things that you can just put together however you want. Or you can use individual words, and that's what I like. I like to... It's one of the best things about making your own stamps. You can make what you like to use. I'm just cutting little flag ends on here. This was going to go next to the flower, but I actually think it's going to be nice just a bit further down. Amazing, and then we'll layer that up onto this card here. Oh, hello. That's a card done. And I think, you know, that's got a wide variety of applications, that one. I might go in a bit later and put a few pink sequins in, but we'll see. Okay, so on to the next. So next we're going to use this here, where we went through our Andalusian. But I think what we'll do is we'll bring in another colour. Okay, so I'm just going to flip this over. Move that out of the way. I think we're going to go for, because I'm just looking, and I've got one that's got some blues and maybe a bit of green in. So I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're going to grab our Uncharted Mariner. And actually, let's see. Let's have a little look. We've got some of the smaller versions of, on the Blooming Blooms, you've got a couple of sizes of each of the ones that are on there. So if I just have a look round and then see what else I've got. And the bigger one. Okay, so if I'm going to go in with my Uncharted Mariner, and where I've gone over the edge of my big one here, what I'm going to do, again, okay, I'm going to go on to the next background. No, I'm not, because I've decided what I want to do with that, actually. I'm just going to get a spare bit, and I'm going to go up to that white line, and I'm going to go over with my Uncharted Mariner. This is sort of like a lovely sort of tealy blue. It's not like the other blues. It's sort of, so I can sort of see where it came to on here too. A little bit inside, maybe. Give us a little bit of the border either end. And then we've got our panel. Okay, ready for our card. Now, because the Uncharted Mariner is a very new ink pad and is very inky, okay, I am going to give that a bit of a heat set, because otherwise I'll rub and smudge it with my hands. Okay, so here we go. Because I'm mucky. We all know it. There's no point pretending I'm not. All right. And then I think what we need to do is, I think we need like a border or something across the middle. Maybe. I'm thinking. It's a progression. I actually quite like that. I am thinking now. Okay. So I need some borders, I think. I'm going to have a little look. See how I feel. What have we got? Nope. How about a Stitchy Border? A Stitchy Border. Okay, so these are the Stitch Borders. And then, so what I'm going to do is grab, I'm so sorry about the comments, guys. If I hope Sammy's there and able to help. I just can't see anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a stitched border to bring the black in to here, either end. And then I think what I'll do is I'll do an Uncharted Mariner border across the middle so that it all ties in. What do we think? Is that a good idea? But unfortunately, I can't see any comments, so there's, you know, hopefully you're saying, yes, Bev, that's a great idea. That's what you should have done all along. I'm surprised you didn't think of it. Well, here we are. Right. So I'm going to ink this. Put it straight in the middle. I'd love to tell you that being almost exactly the right length was by design, but I think we know that that is not true, so I won't even try and pass that off. You know. We all know that was more luck than judgment, don't we? Alright, so the small bits of card from when I was cutting my things have to be the right size, don't they? So if I take that one and then cut a small strip, so I'm going to do that about a centimetre wide. I don't want it too wide because obviously the top and bottom ones aren't. Okay, so we'll take and that across there with the flowers on. Okay, so again we'll go to our Uncharted Mariner. Get that brush back. Doop, 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 doop. Like I say, I don't like blending on the non-stick craft sheet because you just can't see your colours properly. I'm using my brush instead of going direct from ink pad because obviously I want it at the same intensity that I've already blended on. If I go direct from ink pad, it'll be slightly different tonally. I don't want that. Oh, it's getting warm in here, boys and girls. And then I'm going to, and then that should be fine, just have a little heat set on. So, yeah, sorry, did I actually really show you the Stitchy Borders? So the Stitch Border set has got 6 different borders in it. Well, technically 7 in a way. This is one complete stamp, but I generally cut it up. But you've got, because I love faux stitch, as I was saying earlier. And these were originally components of some of our bigger collage sets. But my mum was like, yeah, but I want to be able to use the Stitch Borders on their own for her bullet journaling. So that's why I brought them in separately, and you've got your measuring tape in there. So they're really, really good for loads of your different projects. I absolutely love them. Okay. So from here, have I got some just double-sided tape? How old is this double-sided tape? God only knows. Oh dear. I've got a sticky dot runner. Does that still work? Sort of. Because I'm mainly art journal now, I tend to use gel medium for everything, which means when I come to use glue, I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'll put that on there. I think what I'm going to do, you know, is I'm going to get my card and I'm going to put this on here. See, look at that on the card. Doesn't it just look ace? Sorry, let me go up a bit. I can still see the video, I just can't see any comments. Right, so again, let's take our double-sided tape. How are we doing for time? Bab. Nearly 2 cards finished in half an hour. Literally doesn't happen in this room unless I have someone to talk to. I can't lie. Alrighty. Okay. I'm not entirely sold on those flowers, I can't lie. Not entirely. Do we like it? Do we like that? Do hearts or thumbs up because they're coming up. Yes, we do. Okay. Right. Righty-ho. So we'll do that. Right, I'm going to do that on double-sided foam as well. To give it a little bit of depth. Okay, so this is really what I wanted to show you, that you can really come up with some lovely quick cards. And I'll tell you something I haven't actually said for a while, which is a very good thing for you all to know. Things you make with Be Crafty, you are free to sell. As long as you're stamping and whatever each time, and you're not like scanning them in and redoing it that way, you can sell as many as you want. All we do say is show us what you're making and selling, but that's only because we're nosy and we like to see. It's not for any other reason. It's not, you know, it's not because we want to check up on you or anything. It's just because we're nosy and we like to. Okay, so I'm going to go to ticker tape 4 next. Okay, and the reason I'm using our newest releases is because that's what I have mostly got prepped right now. So, you know, so that's why. It's that simple. I'm going to do a lot more cutting out over the next little while because I want to do a real mass sort of YouTube preparation. So these are also stamped on the white linen. I love white linen. I used to use it all the time. But you know how you sort of get in and out of habits of doing stuff where you're crafting? I sort of got out the habit of using it, and then I used it recently. I was like, why on earth did I stop doing this? And to be honest, I do actually remember why. It's because a lot of people, when they're stamping on linen, especially if you're new to stamping, you know, you can't, it is a textured surface, so it's not always easy. But the fact it takes so many other mediums is it's worth persevering with. Okay, so card number 2. Alright? Are we feeling good? Are we feeling happy? Excellent. I'm worried a lot of the detail of this one isn't coming out, but it's alright. On to the next. Right, so the next one, I have decided we're actually going to go sort of bluey, monochromy, because my black soot's here staring at me. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get our panel, which has got a bit of pink on it, but that's fine. We'll go the other side. Okay, and I'm going to wipe off this bit. So this is the Uncharted Mariner from where we were doing our borders. Okay, and then I'm going to spritz in the line, and I'm going to go down once and lift off. And that's all we're going to use. Okay. That's all we're going to use. Okay. And then using the border block. So this is one of our super skinny slims. We're doing in loads of different sizes. This is the one we call the border one because I mainly use it for borders. Or getting in if I want to stamp something really close to the binding of my journal. Okay, and then we're going to take our black soot distress oxide. You can use a regular black soot distress ink for this. It doesn't have to be oxide at all. We're going to press on and go in a line. Across here, you could use your blending mat if you want. I'm going to do this one slightly different. And I'm going to spritz along the line. Sort of manoeuvre the ink where I want it to go a little bit. And we're going to tap it down the way. Just heat set that off. I love bringing more heat into this room. It's like my favourite thing. Spoiler alert. It's not. Okay. I then want to add just a little bit of template detail. So I'm going to go to my texture discs. And I think I'm going to go for that one. That is from Texture Disc Set 2. I'd love to say I remember that, but what I do is I put little numbers on the top so I know which one it comes from. I'm going to go back to my blending brush and use my black soot oxide. And we're going to add a little bit of this detail. Okay. I'm going to go back to the border set because, like I said, I don't want to use loads and loads of stamp sets. I want to just use a couple. So I think what we'll do is we'll go to the measuring tape. So you can see this one's a slightly different sort of feel and look. Touch more industrial. So you wouldn't need to use a flower for this one. I'm going to, but you could, you know, use something else if you prefer. I'm going to ink this up with the black soot. I'm going to stick with my black soot. I have got my VersaFine Clair as well, but for now I'm just going to stick with this, I think. I'm going to turn my project sideways. Run my fingers right down the middle. So we've got that there. And then grab this one, which is this sort of inky splatty. It's not really a stitchy border, sort of like an inky splatty one. I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to use the black soot again. This is a test of white space for me as well. I'm trying to leave some white space. I'll go across the middle. Right about there. Okay, and actually I'm going to go again. I'm going to go from the other side. And meet it here. Then instead of doing a third one, I'm going to take this really thin, it's almost straight stitch, look, it's just got a tied off end and a little bit there. This is a really good one, sorry, just as a quick aside, if you want to bend it round, because you can create different loops, because it's a thin, you know, you can create lots of different sort of loopy stitches with this one. It's a really sort of pliable one. So lots and lots of fun with that one. Okay, and then take this stitch up. I'm going to put that right across there. Okay, then I have some of the Dandy Daisies that we were using earlier. Where's the card gone? Okay, that I have stamped on book pages. I have a Complete Works of Shakespeare that I got damaged from a charity shop that I use for this sort of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my card, my scallop card, which has disappeared. I had 3 ready folded. It's okay, like I said, I found several packs of them when I was tidying up in my craft room, so I'm sure I can get another one. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is this is going to go on here. Now, the cardstock I've used is sort of like an off-white. It's not completely white. Now, the fantastic thing about that is obviously the book pages aren't white either. There's another shade on almost, which means it all still sort of works together. You know, otherwise the book page would stand out like a sore thumb, but it's not gonna on this. Okay, so let's just put this on here. Okay, and then I'm going to get the Dandy Daisy. See, I was going to put it there, but I actually think there's a bit better. What do we think? Okay, I'm going to do a little refresh of the comments, so I need to know on the tape measure or off? On or off? On or off? Let's see what you're saying. Someone's going to have to give me a lead because I don't know where to put it. On. Okay. Angela wins. She's the comment I saw. I think on as well, Angela. I think that's a pretty good idea. Right. So I'm going to get some more 3D foam because I want it to be raised up slightly. And again, on one of the leaves just to help secure the lower parts of it. Here we go. Obviously, if you do make your own version of this, please let me see. I'm quite happy for you to go away and make your own version because I think that'll look fab. Do you know what? It is going to be on, but it's just going to be on to the side. Okay. And do you know what? I'm not even going to put a sentiment on it. It's going to live on there exactly like that. And nothing else. I may change my mind later and come back with a word, but at this moment in time I don't want to put a word on it. So this needs work. I'll tell you what, I'm not completely happy with that one, not gonna lie. But those are 3 really quick and easy cards, okay, that we've made in 45 minutes. Okay, so well, it's less than 45 minutes, and that's with my insane amount of waffle at the beginning. Okay, so if you do need to restock your cards because, you know, you've had a busy month, a busy birthday month or anything like that, don't think, oh, you know, they all have to be these big intricate ones. You can make simple, easy, beautiful cards. Or if you're just starting out and you've only got 1 or 2 stamps and 1 or 2 inks, you know, with a picked raspberry, an uncharted mariner and a black and a yellow, you know, we've made here. So, you know, it's not always about getting all of your stash out. Sometimes, I mean, all of my stash is out. Honestly, I'm about 2 steps shy of being buried in a major craft lunch. But all I'm saying is you don't have to. That's the joy of it. So, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're having a fantastic week. Can't believe it's Wednesday again already. Okay. But if there's anything else you need help with, okay, anything you need assistance with, you think we can help with, or you're just wondering, or more importantly, if you're sat there going, I really need to, but that's a stupid question I don't want to ask us. We love them. Honestly, we absolutely love it. There's no such thing as a stupid question. We're honest. Me and Sam are big believers in that one. Okay, so if you need any help with anything, please let us know. If you have a go recreating any of the cards we've made today, please also tag me in it or let me know, because I would love to see them. There's loads more Be Crafty inspiration on the Be Crafty Stamps group, Instagram and the Be Crafty page. So, oh, and the YouTube channel. So, you know, if you need anything else, you can get us on there as well. Thanks, guys. Bye.